It's KFI AM 640, and you're listening to The Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Man, a lot of news. Lots of news going on today. It was nice to have Terry Virts on. Guy's an astronaut. And he was asked... Wait, hold on one second. Sorry. He was asked when he goes on the stump, do you want to hear his pitch to be a senator, or you want to hear stories about space? And nobody wants to hear about why he wants to be a senator. They always want to hear about space. The guy went to space. He's a colonel in the Air Force. And he went to space, and he didn't go to space with Jeff Bezos. He didn't go up for 8 seconds and, where he's 9 miles above Earth. He was a real astronaut. And very rarely do you get to talk to somebody who did that. It's huge. All right, back here on Earth, there was a protest in a very busy hour. I think it was 5:30 on Wilshire. And that's not a good way to get people's attention. People get pissed when they have to sit there in traffic because you're waving those flags.
We just got over the scene here, still trying to get some more details, but you can see from all of the flags, they're blocking Wilshire Boulevard right here, Wilshire at Granville, so just west of the 405, obviously a super congested corridor this time of the day. Perhaps not a coincidence that this is Yom Kippur as well.
Yep.
Intersection, quite a few people, well over 100. Looks like we have a big pickup truck here. They just had a flag on the back of that as well. LAPD has a helicopter over. Definitely do not like when they are blocking streets right now, so I would not be surprised if they declare this an unlawful assembly. It's not clear how long they've been blocking the intersection, if they had just been on the sidewalk or if they all just gathered and then got in the middle of the street here. You can see a couple of motor units arriving now at this point, so I'm sure they're going to come and give them a warning, tell them to at the very least get back to the sidewalks, or they may come and shut this down. So we'll see how this progresses. A peaceful protest so far, pro-Palestinian, it appears. Wilshire at Granville, just west of the 405. Pat Rudabay.
All right.
We believe
that is, I think it was Desmond Shaw.
Yes.
And I'm looking at the traffic right now, and it is, it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look like it's, completely swamped in that area. It's, what did he say, Granville? I don't even know where Granville is. Is that, he said it's west of the 405. And if it's on Wilshire and Granville, I don't know where that is. If it's anywhere on Wilshire, it's going to be a pain in the ass for a lot of people. Granville might be down, I don't know, it might be down near Barrington. Oh yeah, okay. It's between Barrington and Westgate. So it's where those big apartment buildings are that are always in the news. They're trying to kick everybody out and renovate them. They've been there since like the 1960s. There was a fire in there about 10 years ago that was devastating to a lot of people. But that's where it is. It's on Wilshire. He's right. And that whole area is completely jammed. Wilshire, west of Barrington, west of the 405. So it's on the ocean side of the 405 between Bundy and Westgate to the west. And then Barrington to the north or the east, whatever that is. But that's where it is. There's a protest going on at Granville and Wilshire. And so that's where it's all happening right now. But anyway, that's just one of many stories that are happening now throughout Southern California. There's a murder suspect that's held up somewhere in Brentwood or Bel Air, and they're looking for that guy or that gal as well. And then we had the high-speed chase that ended up off of Oxford and Olympic. And so there's a lot going on in L.A. It's an off day. The Dodgers aren't playing today, so we did need some entertainment, and we got it, from guys and gals that are out there, making life interesting for everybody. All right, let's talk about California. The California insurance boss, everybody's worried about their insurance going up, whether it's your home insurance or car insurance. And everybody is, paying more and getting less coverage. So let's find out what's going on.
California's insurance commissioner is a frequent flyer, jet setting across country, but mostly all over the world. A nice gig, right? Especially if taxpayers are picking up the tab.
What the hell?
Upgrading his flights to business and first class, expensing the 5-star resort stays, chauffeurs, limo service, even a safari. The list goes on.
Man, I thought they would stop this crap. You know, people in the government flying around on our dime. I thought that was over. Evidently, it's not. You know, it just continues. People think once they get into public office, they can do whatever the hell they want and nobody will care.
Thousands of records obtained by 7 on Your Side Investigates show California's Insurance Commissioner Ricardo Lara racked up the receipts in recent years. At least 48 trips across the globe to virtually every dot you see on this map since he assumed office in 2019. And that may just be scratching the tarmac, as years of his travel records remain missing from the state.
That's the biggest concern. If you were to ask my office the purpose of government travel, we'd be able to identify every single benefit that came from these trips.
All departments are required to identify a clear, established need to travel. And for out-of-country trips, a mission-critical purpose is required. But after 9 months of questioning, the California Department of Insurance was unable to specify those reasons for a series of trips, including a 5-star hotel stay in New York City for Pride Fest that cost taxpayers more than $11,600.
What? Wait a minute. You're going to New York for Pride Fest? Don't we have Pride Fest out here? Don't we have a Pride Parade in Long Beach and West Hollywood and Hollywood? Why do you got to go to New York for the Pride Fest? And $11,000 for a hotel room for a week?
That cost taxpayers more than $11,600.
Wow.
The 4-day trip listed no insurance-related meetings on his calendar.
How about that? Goes to New York on our dime, spends $11,000 just on the hotel room. I can't imagine what what the bar bill was, or the dinner bill, or lunch, or meals with these guys, and that's probably $15,000. And what did he do for us? Nothing.
But a VIP rooftop event with DJ Kitty Glitter made the cut. Private security was hired to escort him to various events on this trip, costing taxpayers more than $9,400.
Wow. Okay. Now we're up to $25,000 for the trip.
The department says it defers to California Highway Patrol for any private security or transport travel expenses, adding CHP, not the commissioner, makes those decisions based on things like threat assessments.
Well, I know that in this environment, there's increased scrutiny and attacks. I've been subjected to them, too. Many do. It's not unique to me.
Records show Lada's 5-day trip to Bogota, Colombia for an LGBTI political leaders conference cost taxpayers.
Wait, why is the insurance commissioner flying around to the LGBTI or LGBTQ, whatever it was? Why is he flying to Bogota for that? What does that have to do with our car or house insurance?
For an LGBTI political leaders conference, cost taxpayers more than $24,000.
Okay, now we're up to around $50,000 just for those 2 trips. For the trip to New York for LGBTQ festival, and then to Bogota for another LGBTQ festival.
That's 5 times more than we previously reported. Receipts show more than $7,000 was spent on taxi fares.
Wait, $7,000 on cabs?
Was spent on taxi fares.
What the hell is going on with this guy?
Turns out a private security firm accompanied him at the conference. While travel is not uncommon for California's insurance commissioner, and prior commissioners have also traveled internationally, political analysts are raising questions about the frequency, cost, and lack of transparency with Lada's trips.
The state of California is nearly broke. It's worse than broke. We're in debt. And this guy's flying all over the globe to go to these conferences. And what do they have to do with insurance? My guess, nothing.
For example, last November, Lara took a trip to Cape Town, South Africa for an international insurance conference. But the conference was only 2 days. Yet receipts show taxpayers paid for his entire 2.5-week stay at a luxury hotel. Records are still missing from this trip, but we can tell you his security detail alone cost taxpayers more than $33,000. And that's not including any of the miscellaneous bills, like expensive hiking equipment.
I'm having a hard time understanding why hiking poles are something that the state needs for insurance.
Yes, I'm with you. Very, very good question.
And taxpayers paid for a visit to the Big 5 Safari and Spa. To put that trip in perspective for you, we requested all the travel records of legislators on both state insurance committees, but receipts show a significant disparity. Let me show you what I mean. In one example involving Lisa Calderon, the Assembly Insurance Committee chair, she averaged roughly $19,000 annually over the past 5 years.
Okay, 5 years. She spent $20,000 a year. That seems reasonable for travel. This guy spends it in a week.
For all her taxpayer-funded travel. Now compare that to Commissioner Lara's CHP security detail exceeding $33,000 for just one trip. Commissioner Lara and Assemblymember Calderon's role is not a direct comparison in scope of representation, but the department has not provided the travel records from previous commissioners, describing them as incomplete.
And he's not going to get fired. He's not going to get suspended. He's not even going to get reprimanded. We'll all just live with it. We all just have to suck it up and realize that these guys are going to be crooks until we change these guys out. They're all going to rip us off.
In fact, Lara's staff provided a list of 5 international trips former Commissioner Dave Jones took during his tenure.
Why isn't this bigger news? That this guy's spending, $300,000-$400,000 a year on travel.
Compare that to at least 21 international trips Lara took, including a luxurious 10-day trip to Dubai, staying at a pricey 5-star resort. The department says this was to participate in United Nations policy panels and insurance forums.
A nightmare. Another guy that's ripping off California, and nothing's going to happen to him. All right, well, you voted him in. That's what you get.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
We had Terry Virts, who is an astronaut. He came on with us. That guy's cool, running for Senate in Texas. He's running against John Cornyn. That's going to be a tough run. We had a motorcycle chase that ended up on Olympic in Oxford. Covered that. There's a protest on Wilshire, just west of the 405, near Bundy and Barrington. Covered that. The arrest of one of the bodies, the 2 bodies that was found in a car. We covered that today. There's a murder suspect that they're looking for in Bel Air, near Brentwood, I believe. We're getting information on that. A car that flew into a Jewish school on the holiest holiday on the Jewish calendar. I hope that's just a coincidence. And we're covering that as well. Man, it's just a lot of news. Lots going on today. But let's do something a little lighter here. And that is the Disneyland gift. And I think we're doing this tomorrow. Isn't that right, Bellio? Tomorrow?
That is correct.
Okay. It's Halloween time at the Disneyland Resort. And KFI AM 640 wants to give you a chance to experience the frightful fun, plus the added excitement of the Disneyland Resort's 70th celebration. A Happiest Halloween has brought spooky thrills and chills to both Disney California Adventure Park and Disneyland Park, now through October 31st. Offering subject to restrictions and change without notice. Keep listening for your chance to win you can win a 4-pack of 1-day, 1-park tickets to Disneyland Park or Disney California Adventure Park from your friends at KFI AM 640. That's going to be tomorrow. That'll be a huge giveaway tomorrow. So you want to be here for that. And then don't forget the air show this weekend. It starts tomorrow. The countdown is on. Pacific Airshow, Huntington Beach, returns tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, October 3rd through the 5th, with epic aerial stunts, ground-shaking displays. Enjoy live commentary, exclusive performer sightings and signings, and explore the all-new STEM Lab, Next Gen STEM Lab, and Kid Zone. Wow. The ultimate beach day for the whole family. Get your tickets now at PacificAirshow.com. PacificAirshow.com. Gary and Shannon will be out there tomorrow from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. at the air show. And that should be a cool deal. A big broadcast tomorrow for the air show. Is Gary going to fly in one of those planes? He does that every year. Or he's done it in the past.
He's not doing it this year. He has done it in the past.
He has.
You were supposed to, and you decided not to.
Well, remember, the military planes aren't flying this year.
Yeah, right. Military, they're grounded. Bellio, do you remember the reason I didn't do it?
I don't.
Because they wanted me to have a physical.
Oh.
They didn't think I was in good enough shape to do it. And I said, look, when I go out and do remotes, if I have to have a physical, I'm not going. I'm out because I'm not in great shape. So I'm not going to do it. Plus, as much as you ask those Air Force or Navy pilots to be mellow and not do 9 Gs, they immediately do 9 Gs on you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'm not into that.
You wouldn't want to pass out?
Why would I want to pass out? I pass out in here.
That's true.
I get dizzy almost on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So I don't need 9 Gs. I need just third gear in my car. That's enough G's for me to pass out. So I don't do it. You ever done it, Crows? You ever done the flying with the Air Force?
Have not.
Yeah, you could do it. You'd probably, by the end, you'd be flying the thing.
I'd be up for it.
Yeah, you should do it. Belly, have you done it?
No.
You haven't flown with the Air Force?
No.
Ah, you missed an opportunity. You'd probably throw up.
I would definitely throw up.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it.
I wonder if you do throw up in the Navy or the Air Force plane, when you land, is that on you to
clean it up?
Get that going again? To get back to square one?
I think so.
Are you supposed to do it yourself? Or they give you a bag? You can blow in that bag. Hope everybody's enjoying supper.
I did that once on a plane. It was one of those Grand Canyon tours.
Oh, no.
Where it's like the 12, 16-seaters. And not to be stereotypical, but I had like 3 or 4 French guys behind me who apparently enjoyed their meal last night because I was feeling it the next day. And I had like a VCR tape of because my friend was sitting next to me and he was recording me just yakking the whole time.
Oh, my God. You still have it?
Yeah, I'm sure I got it somewhere. Yeah, I got to find it. Yeah, it's on VCR. And it you could hear the French guys just guffawed.
Wait, so it was a tour of the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, it was one of those 2 or 3 hour ones, yeah.
And was it early in the morning?
It was early midday morning. Yeah.
That's the worst.
And it's and those planes are so just stuffy. Like there's no fresh air, and it's a can.
Yeah. And they put as many people on there as they can.
Oh my God, yes. And I thought I got about a half hour in, and I was like, I was feeling a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I thought, I'll tough it out. And then the pilot comes on and says, all right, well, we're almost halfway. And I went, no, grab the bag and yacked away.
Oh, that's awesome. I've done that before. I took pilot license. I took a pilot, lessons. And I wanted to be a pilot at one point in my life. And I got on, the first test was fine. The first lesson was fine. I made it. And then the second one, I was hungover. And I had just gone to Denny's for breakfast or, I don't know, IHOP or something. And I lost it about 10 minutes out. And I said, buddy, you got to get back or else I'm going to destroy this plane. And I never went back.
I bought my ex flying lessons once because she said she wanted to fly.
Yeah. Most people get through 1 or 2 and then that's a wrap.
She didn't make the 10, but she got close. Yeah.
That's right. I would love to do that. I think that's one of the coolest things in the world, to pilot a plane.
Yeah.
I mean, to have that kind of responsibility where that plane and the passengers on that plane are solely at your hands.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge,
especially the smaller planes, because it's like the realization that just under your feet is nothing.
Yeah. And you could wipe out, those 7 people instantly.
Yeah.
It's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I was up for it after I took my second lesson.
Yeah.
I don't think I didn't have
good.
I didn't have the discipline it takes to become a pilot.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Shocking.
You mean I gotta keep correcting? I can't just point it one direction and let go?
I can't show up 5 minutes before and fly this thing on my own?
I can't watch the Dodger game when I'm supposed to be watching video.
That's classic. All right. That's interesting, though, Belly. Now that video's out there and simulators, I wonder how much of it can be done on the ground. You don't have to fly,
Oh, there you go.
Like, remember that guy that flew the Alaska airliner in Seattle and eventually crashed it? He was just a mechanic.
Yeah.
And he just said, I've played video games my whole life and in these simulators. And he was able to take an aircraft and fly it for around an hour and a half. And he's never flown before in his life. But it's just on the simulator that he worked. So maybe I'll do that. I'll get a simulator going and maybe not drink the night before. That'll be my plan. All right,
Good plan.
How about getting on a plane, Captain Tim Conway Jr. tonight?
Oh.
And then bang, everybody's flying off the plane. God almighty.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
Don't forget, Gary and Shannon are doing a live remote tomorrow at the Air Show. Bellio, where's that remote going to be for we can direct people to where that remote's going to happen? Do you know? Any idea? She not there? She's got headphones on.
What do you need?
You put your headphones on. Headphones.
What, how can I help you?
Where's the remote, the Gary and Shannon remote tomorrow? Do you know? The Air Show?
Let me check. I'm going to get you that information.
It should be on the wall here somewhere, whenever anyone's doing a remote, whether it's Handel or John Colbelt or us or, I don't know, Mo Kelly or George Norrie or Amy King. And then the information should be on the wall, and people can look at that and go, hey, they're going to be at this restaurant tomorrow at 9 a.m. Guess I got to do that. I'll do it. I'll just get in there and knock that out, man. All right, there's a great article yesterday in your Los Angeles Times. Almost no one is building new apartments in Los Angeles. Here's why. Los Angeles developer Cliff Goldstein just completed a plush new apartment complex on the west side, but that's the last one he's going to build in the foreseeable future. Even though demand for housing in this region is hot, 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 many people who build apartments for a living have paused putting shovels in the ground, I should say. And that's it. There's just no profit in it anymore. So it's a needle in a haystack to find an opportunity that makes financial sense to build today, according to Goldstein. And then they used to have multiple projects, as many as 800 total units being built at the same time in Los Angeles, but no more. That's over. We haven't bought a site with the intention to develop it in over 2 years. That's what this guy does for a living. And he hasn't purchased a piece of property in 2 years. So in 2 years from now, he'll be building nothing. Nothing. And he says, I don't know when it will start again, but it's probably not going to be soon. The supply of fresh rental units, which make up a bulk of new housing in Los Angeles, is petering out because, there's many reasons why. The vacancy rate is among the lowest in the country, while rental rates are among the highest nationwide. Still, the number of new units under construction in Los Angeles has been falling each quarter since the early part of last year, and it's set to hit a new 10-year low, according to the real estate data provided by CoStar. Under 19,000 apartments were under construction in the 3 months through September. That's 30% fewer than 3 years ago. 30% fewer. Developers say that they can't raise the money they need to build as many units because there's no big backers supporting them anymore. The years since COVID-19 have demonstrated how tangled regulation of the industry can get, according to LA Observer here. So investors are taking their money to other cities. LA has been redlined by the majority of investment community. Did you hear that? LA has been redlined by the majority of the investment community. If the investors won't invest, then you can't build. A developer without investors would be like a king without clothes, according to Goldstein. He says, I'm an optimistic developer who wants to develop, but the investment community will not participate. Look, if these are the big guys in the business and they can't get their investors on board, how are you going to build a duplex or a triplex or a small apartment building? You're not. And this is a big problem in Los Angeles. Prices went up, especially at a very rapid pace in some of the categories most affected by tariffs. All right, well, including iron, steel prices, they've gone up by 9%. Copper wire cable prices have jumped 14%. California's construction industry depends on migrant workers, and I think we've all seen what's going on there. Around 61% of construction workers in this state, in California, are immigrants, and 26% of those are undocumented. So finding construction labor is hard, and it's getting even harder. Every time you go to a Home Depot, they're throwing another 15, 20 of these Spanish guys out of the country. Housing production in Los Angeles County has slowed dramatically over the decades, dropping from over 70,000 new units annually in the 1950s to roughly 30,000 in the 70s and 80s to 15,000 in the 2010s. So we went from 70,000 new units in the 50s to now 15,000 annually. It's according to USC. So there's little land left and there's little desire to build. I don't know what that means. I'm not big enough in the real estate game to know if that's good or bad. I think if you're a homeowner, that's probably good, because the property value that you have is going up because you can always tear your house down and build a 5-unit apartment. And I think housing prices will always stay pretty high, especially in smaller communities, like a Culver City or Santa Monica, Manhattan Beach, Seal Beach, Huntington Beach, Burbank, Pasadena, Arcadia. These small communities have their own police force. They respond better to all emergencies, especially crime. The firemen are, they got their own fire department, most of these small communities, and they respond quickly. They don't have the big budget, the big headaches that LA Fire Department has. And the schools are great too. My daughter went through Burbank schools, and I thought it was a terrific education. I thought her and her friends got a great education. If I lived at LA in the city of Los Angeles, I think I'd be hard pressed to find a school. Maybe now it's better, and I think it is. But 15, 16 years ago, when I put her into school, in the place where we lived in Tarzana, I visited the school, and I didn't feel comfortable putting her into that school. It just was not a great school. I think LAUSD has made a remarkable comeback in the last 10 or 15 years, though. And I've witnessed some of these schools firsthand. And so has my daughter. And I think they've really done a 180, and they're on their way back. So maybe in the next 3-4 generations, or maybe even less than that, LAUSD will be a premier place to put your kid into school. But I know all the teachers, the administration, the faculty, and the superintendent. They work their ass off at LAUSD. They really do. Every one of those people works for LAUSD. They care about the kids. They want to teach. That's why they're there. They're not earning millions of dollars. And I think they've gotten the short end of the stick. I think LAUSD, I think you'll see in the next, maybe 2 to 5, 8, 9, 10 years, it'll be, I think, a premier place and a safe place to put those kids and get a great education. I really do believe the new up-and-coming teachers, that are now in high school or in college are going to be terrific at what they do. I get a lot of confidence in them.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
All right, the Los Angeles Dodgers will play again on Saturday as they take on the Philadelphia Phillies. That'll be Saturday evening. So whatever plans you have, cancel them and watch television. I don't know if it's on ESPN or Fox. I don't know who's producing it. Major League Baseball Stadium in Las Vegas, the Oakland A's are about to move to Las Vegas, and I guess this stadium is going to be unbelievable. It's going to include a theater, a hotel, and a casino, all in one place. This is a dream for degenerate gamblers and alcoholics like me. Ding dong with this place.
The 2025 season now all done for the Oakland A's, just as baseball talk in Las Vegas is heating up. The 8 News Now investigators obtaining an early release of this rendering showing the area around the ballpark with 2 luxury hotel towers totaling 3,000 new rooms, a 2,500-seat theater, and more than...
Wow, 3,000 new rooms. And Vegas is hurting right now to get people to fill up the rooms that they already have.
Totaling 3,000 new rooms,
whoa,
a 2,500-seat theater,
all right,
and more than 500,000 square feet of retail, dining, and entertainment.
500,000 space. 500,000 square feet of new retail space? What is going in there? How many more dog houses or Carl's or, I don't know, In-N-Out or Burger Kings are going to go in there.
The resort will also include a new casino and a VIP experience.
Oh, now we're talking my language. A casino in the ballpark.
With direct access to the ballpark, which, of course, will be Vegas-sized.
Go A's! I'm going to become a big A's fan.
With the world's largest video scoreboard and a view of the world-famous Las Vegas Strip.
Retired 20 years already, though.
And in those 20 years of retirement, after 40 years working in Las Vegas casinos, James Block likes his sports teams.
Does this guy sound like he's been working in casinos for 40 years?
Retired 20 years already, though.
Yes, he does.
And in those 20 years of retirement, after 40 years working in Las Vegas casinos, James Block likes his sports teams. Here at a bar to watch Sunday's Green Bay Packers game. Because if you couldn't tell by his getup, he loves all things Wisconsin. And in June, he'll get to see his beloved Milwaukee Brewers play the A's at Las Vegas Ballpark. He says he's looking forward to that, but not so much to baseball.
Yeah, I think there are going to be a lot more fans of the opposing team. Like, there'll be 1 million Dodger fans that want to go to Las Vegas to watch the A's play the Dodgers. It will be wall-to-wall Dodgers. Heavy Dodgers, my man. Heavy Dodgers.
On Las Vegas Boulevard.
Everything too close to the Strip. Yeah, I know more tourists come there, and it's easy for it to get to, but it's inconvenient for local people.
That's a guy who's had smoke blown in his face for 40 years. Dealing blackjack for 40 years, and a guy's just blowing filterless cigarettes in his face for 40 years.
More tourists come there, and it's easy for it to get to, but it's inconvenient for local people.
There you go.
And like any good baseball discussion, a disagreement. Another of those local people we spoke with has the exact opposite opinion, based in part on the success of the areas around the Raiders Allegiant Stadium and the Golden Knights T-Mobile Arena.
I think it fit perfectly fine. Like I said, I mean, it's on the Strip, you know, besides the casinos and all the other attractions, why not catch a game?
You know, they may change the name of that team and not call it the A's. The A's have sort of a stink attached to it. I remember, you know, they had a good run in 1989, 88, 89, 90, but really nothing since. They might change it. You know, instead of A's, maybe Aces. I don't know. Like, you know, like the card, that's a possibility.
The closer we get to 2028, though, it still seems far away. The A's are playing their home games in Sacramento, and next year their jerseys will say Sacramento across their chest.
Wow. They're not even going with Oakland. They're going to be the Sacramento A's next year.
So the Oakland A's, now the Sacramento A's soon, right here, the Las Vegas A's. Reporting live on the world-famous Las Vegas Strip.
Now, Las Vegas is no stranger to baseball.
That's
right.
The
city has hosted many preseason games as part of Major League weekend events, but the A's actually played their first 6 games of the 1996 season at Cashman Field in downtown Las Vegas. At the time, renovation.
Pelio. God almighty.
The 1996 season at Cashman Field in downtown Las Vegas. At the time, renovations at Oakland Coliseum were not complete when the season started.
What a place. A casino in the stadium, 2,500 seat theater, $1 million square feet of retail space. That's going to all be done in the next couple of years. All right, Charlie Brown's with us. Hey, Chuck.
You know what? Hey, I got to tell you, this is so funny. My girlfriend,
Andy Reesmeyer, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Reesmeyer, yeah.
She also hates this shirt.
Well, I don't hate it.
It's a little silly.
I don't hate it at all.
I'm going through like a quarter life, or I hope. Maybe it's probably a midlife. Let's be real.
Let's talk about the girlfriend. I didn't know you had a girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
How
And
long?
she, you know, couple
Is she
years.
in the industry?
No. I mean, she's in an industry.
Is she
when you say the industry,
a weather person?
No, it's not. It's not who you think it is. If only.
Okay.
But she also doesn't get the plane thing. She doesn't understand. I'm a big aviation person also.
Oh, I see.
I wanted to be a pilot. I'm so excited about the air show this weekend.
Oh, I am too.
She's like, something's wrong with you.
No, something's right with you.
I thought so too.
Like as in the Wright brothers. How about that? But I took pilot lessons. I took 2, and the second one I almost threw up everywhere. And
Yeah.
I stopped because I'm not responsible. You're responsible.
I don't know. I mean, I play one on TV, but really, am I that responsible? I felt like I wasn't serious enough to
How many lessons did you take?
I did 2.
Yeah, I did 2.
I did 2
as well. Yeah.
And I did a thing recently, which you should check out in Pasadena. There's a study that like 50% of men think they can land an airplane in case of an emergency.
Okay.
You know?
I'm one of them.
Me too. So we went out to this place in Pasadena where they have a 737 simulator.
Right.
And so I tested it out.
Without any lessons.
I've never flown a 737.
And did you land
before.
it?
I did.
Wow.
I did multiple times.
Is that right?
Yes. And they threw me in like weather,
Holy
difficult
Christ.
conditions.
Wait, did they talk you into like down?
He set up the plane so that I was able to. No, he didn't really talk me down. He just said, "Here's the runway," and he said, "Kids who grow up playing video games are really good at this."
Buddy, that's awesome.
Isn't that exciting? So you should go, and we should test and see how good you are at it.
I would throw that thing right into a school. You know,
up at Cudahy doing a fuel dump.
What's on the big program tonight?
Well, speaking of airplanes, we've got one of the pilots for the Pacific Airshow who he's coming on in a little bit to talk about the show. They do the takeoff and landings on the beach.
That's excellent.
He's going to give us some intel on that.
No military jets.
Well, no, I know that, but you know what they want us to know? There's still a lot of cool stuff to see down there.
That's right.
Which.
Like the Snoopy plane.
You know, the Snoopy plane.
Right.
Or they got the...
I might go. Are you going to go?
If I can get Tim Lynn to pick me up on the way down.
Okay.
I'll go.
Right. He's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Just pick me up.
All right. In for Mo Kelly, Andy Reesmeyer, the whole crew right here on KFI AM 640. Nice to see you, man.
Bye.
Good luck, Charlie. Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Now, you can always hear us live on KFI AM 640, 4 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app.